Good morning, girls, and welcome to our lesson today. Okay, what we're going to be doing is we are starting off with the section on geometry, and as you can see there on your screens, this is just my starting little PowerPoint, just thinking about all the geometry words that comes to mind over the years that you've done that. Okay, now let's take note of the different types of lines that we are looking at. Okay, so I've got types of lines. Okay, that's where my cursor is. Here's a type of line, something that you would have, looks like a scribble, and we give it a name. This is a line. Okay, so the scribble, as much as it is a line, even though it's not a straight line. Okay, then we go to being more specific, and this is now what I call a straight line. You can see it's a straight line, and I put arrows at the end points, meaning that it can continue. Okay, then we go on to this type of line, which is a ray. Okay, so what a ray is, there's no arrow on this side, but the arrow is on the right-hand side, meaning it starts at a specific point and it can continue. And finally, I have a line segment. There's no arrows on the line segment. Okay, as you can see, a line segment has a specific length, like 5 centimeters or whatever, and I've drawn it. So these are the different types of lines. Okay. So now let's look at a few lines. I've drawn a few lines and I've got a point where they all intersect. Okay, so we call these concurrent lines. Okay, so what are concurrent lines? There are several lines with a common point. So here's my common point here. Okay, here's my common point there. All right, and several lines with a common point. Right, then I will call this my point of currency. So where they all meet is my point of currency. Now I'm looking at another line. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about that. Points that are on the same line are called, so here's a point, there's another point and another point. So if I join them up, they're all on the same line, and we call them collinear points. Okay, so I've spoken about concurrent lines, where several lines meet at a common point, which is called the point of concurrency, and then points in the same line are called collinear. Okay, right? Now let's look at something more. Okay, lines intersect where they cross each other. So here's a line of intersection or point of intersection. Here's another point of intersection. Okay, so there we are, highlighting the point of intersection. A line then, okay, so that's your point of intersection. And here now, a line segment is bisected. That's a good word, okay, bisected, okay, where the points are when it is cut in half. So you can see this line here bisects it into two equal halves. Okay. Now let's move on to something else. These are parallel lines, okay, you can see these arrows mean parallel. Okay, so what are parallel lines? Parallel lines are when they're equal distant apart. And perpendicular lines is when two lines meet at right angles. There's the right angle here. And what we call this as a perpendicular bisector. That word seems to be cut off, but what it means is it meets perpendicularly and bisects the two lines. Okay, now we're talking about types of angles. Okay. So this is an arm. It's the sides or the line segments or the rays. So these are arms. Okay, that's another arm. Okay, this point here is called the vertex. Okay, so where the arms meet. So that's your one arm, that's your other arm. And at the point at which the arms intersect or meet. That obviously is your angle, which is the rotation of an arm around a point measured in degrees. So that's how many degrees to tell you. Okay. And then let's talk about a few specific angles. What is an acute angle? Okay, there's the arms. So an acute angle is between 0 and 90 degrees. A right angle is always equal to 90 degrees. Why are obtuse angles so depressed? Okay, little joke, because they are never right. Okay, but an obtuse angle is between 90 and 180. A straight angle is always 180 degrees, a straight line. And then a reflex angle is between 180 degrees and 360 degrees. So these are the the 5 types of angles: acute, right, obtuse, straight angle, and reflex angle. Okay, and the last one is a revolution. Okay, part of my circle's cut off there, and that's 360 degrees. Okay, so now all that we've said, you can go through this video again, and after you're 100% sure, you can complete task 1 on page 27 and 28, and remember to submit to me. Little joke, I'm not trying to be obtuse, but you're acute, girl. It's a little something to leave you there. Okay, thank you, girls. Have a lovely day, and I hope you enjoyed this video.